Please, Pat. How are you doing today? Good. There we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Sound like a Monty Python starting into a movie, or starting into a Monty Python movie. Sunday fun days underway. Princess will be here shortly, but all of us that have joined us so far, oh my goodness, water dilemma. We're gonna get to the center parts of our mat, stepping our feet out to the edges with the toes turned inwardly towards the central line. Let's bring some straightness to the legs and draw back till you feel the heel weighting mostly. And once you're there, pull your shoulders up to the ears, open the palms to face forward and pull back with your elbows, putting a bend in them. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, let's serve those arms out. Bringing forearms and baby fingers together, flipping the palms to face and bringing those hands back over heart. Good morning. Remember, we're just warming up right now, so, nice and chill. As we keep those legs nice and straight, I like you to draw the hips back and begin to chop through the hips and pull down. And when you kind of hit the point where you have enough tension where it's time to rise, I'd like you to come back up. It's going to be different on every person, but as you progress through this, see if you can explore the range of depth on each subsequent repetition. Slowly down and slowly up. And when you rise this time, hold up, push those hands to the sky, give that sun a big salute, pull with the fingers, elongate through the whole body. Fill the lungs with air, and as you exit that, step your toes straight forward and let those arms kind of descend all the way down to your fingertips arrive on the mat. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, pull. And continue on this pattern for a few more breaths.
Sounds like you're saying breaths. Breaths.
Don't go there. On the next breath, B-E-R-A-T-H, keep the spine extended. Draw those hips backwards, give me as much weight bearing to the heels and walk the fingers forward. Take a couple breaths here. Imagine elongation, imagine decompression through the spinal column, through the neck as you breathe in and elongate the spine. On the next breath, as you release it, let the upper body flex down and chill out here for another couple breaths. Let's bring hand to opposite elbow while we wait here. And use this as an opportunity to wait or use gravity and our upper body weight to kind of pull that upper body down, letting the spinal column just kind of relax, chill out. As you inhale, extend to a flat back, return those fingers back to the earth. Snap those knees back, and I mean gently, of course, and draw the hips back into that nice lengthening through the posterior muscles of the back of the leg. If those back leg muscles get nice and long as you inhale, keep that spine in extension. But this time, as you exhale, bend both knees. Step the palms onto the shins and push into them as you elongate the spine. Keep those hips low. Now, proud out the chest, sweep those arms forward, stand tall and salute. This time, good morning to everybody again. Pull high to the sky as you inhale. As you exhale, let those arms just kind of float down. Palms are going to rotate in the face, the sides of your body as you draw the shoulders up. Sweep those elbows backwards and try to pull them together. Let the palms open up. Keep that chest nice and proud and make sure you're not compressing through the neck. Exactly the opposite. Lengthen through it. Big breath in to exhale. Serve out those arms. Use the fingers to pull everything nice and long. And then as you release your next breath, pull them together and bring them back over hearts. Big breath in, and as you exhale, begin to pull. Inhale, unhinge, salute the sun. Drop those hands back over hearts and pull.
So our new movement pattern is we just do hip hinge, we're just chopping through the hips and not bending through any other joint. Slowly down, slowly up. On the next time down, let the fingertips drop to the mat, step your feet back and hands forward as you come into plank. Position your hands slightly forward of your shoulders today. Spiral your elbows inwardly. Let the chest kind of drop in between the arms. If this is too intense because you're still warming, you can always use your knees as an option for offsetting some of the work. Now pull your hips upward and backwards, down dog. I'm going to piston the heels. We're going to push up to the toes and drive the heels to the earth. And do that for a few more repetitions. Inhale as you raise, exhale as you lower. Hold up onto those tippy toes as you sweep the shoulders forward and return back to the plank pose. And now, bend both knees and float them just above the earth and then rise back up. Try to keep up on the tippy toes. You can drive the heels backwards if you like. Do a few more repetitions. This one, let's bring the knees to float just above the mat and draw the hips backwards with a nice intense stretch for your calf, bottoms of the feet. Sweep it forward, straighten up the legs, drive the heels to the earth and walk the hands back to your feet. Find weight bearing equal front to back. Make those knees as straight as you can. To inhale, extend with flat back. Keep those legs straight and let that booty drift backwards. Walk your fingers forward. Bend both knees, palms to the shins. Push palms as you extend the spine. Keep those hips low. Route out that chest. Arms sweep forward. Stand up and salute. Hello, sun. Pull high to the sky as you inhale. Let the arms float down on the exhale. Good morning, everybody. Class is not over. We got a whole bunch of stuff going up now. So now we're going to keep the left foot back, right foot steps forward. Nice separation. Going to bring hands on hips. Now we're high on the toes on that back foot. Heel aiming skyward. Drive the heel to the earth. Hold on that. Now, if it gets there, great. And if it doesn't get there, also great. Not a competition. So that elongation through that calf muscle on the back. I'm going to keep that hip hinge, but I'm going to add, intensify some of the work, gluteals. So we hold on this. I'd like to take your chest and make it proud. I'd like to take your neck and make it long. And I'd like to take your elbows, pull them together. Now I'm going to rise to the toes with the back foot. Drive the heel to the earth. We'll just be piston up and down. Do it nice and slowly. You can add more effort by using that front leg to resist some of the movement. And then you can resist the downward movement as you push back with that front leg. Your choice. All right, hold it up, stand it up, step it forward, switch up sides. Very important to make sure that your knee is back to the ankle and you've got that heel aiming up at the sky. Once again, we're going to reconfigure that spinal column and neck, make it long, chest is proud, elbows pull together at the back. If we chop through that left hip, lean in, hold on that, and let's begin our exercise. Heel driving to the earth. I'm going to hold here. Remembering now that we can use that front leg to assist or add resistance as we start to piston the foot up and down. You might notice you're challenged more with balance on one set of leg positions versus the other. That's normal. Figure out the balance as you make the movement happen. Try not to compromise the plane of motion of the heel of that back foot. Straight up, straight down. It's gonna help you engage in the core engagements. Keep that body stable. Holding up, standing up, stepping forward. Saluting the sun, which way you go, girl? Big inhale. I do you and you do you. That means we're both doing here. Relax the arms, palms face the earth. Nice. Now, lift the palms, face the sky. Fingers full, arms long, almost like you're pulling those arms right out of the shoulder sockets. You keep that now as we begin to descend by bending through the knees, lowering down, keeping the chest proud, rising back up. Now, it's very important here as you seek depth with movement that you keep your six-pack muscle nicely active. You'll notice it if you aren't, because your low back might start to feel a little stressed. As we lower down, slower the range down, and rise up, we're going to add a little element in here, which is when we come up, try to push from the heels. And as you come down, try to push from the ball of each big toe, anchoring it. So we anchor down, and we kind of push up. One more repetition, holding up, saluting the sun, dropping those hands back over the heart, get those shoulders, right up on there, no blood there. Lots of blood here, no blood there. All right, so as we hold on this, we're going to draw the hips backwards. The fingers descend to the earth. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, fold and hang out for a couple breaths. Pilates style. Stack them, raise them all the way up. Sweep those arms out. This time start with the palms facing to the sky. Fingers pull everything, hopefully not out of those shoulder sockets of yours. Feel that nice breath. Now, palms are facing the sky, thumbs are aiming backwards. Let's use the thumbs to pull the arms without bending through the elbows. And make sure your neck is not compressing. Big breath in. As you exhale, salute. As you inhale, draw hands apart. As you inhale, pull the hips backwards. Keep the spine long, tabletop the back. As you inhale, arms sweep out to the side, palms face the earth. And now we're going to corkscrew the arms. Rotate the thumbs down and back, and then up. So you're going to make the movement happen slowly. Pay attention to what's going on with the shoulders. Make sure they're not rotating internally, trying to keep them elevated. And also, what's going on with your neck. We're not compressing through it in this very prone position. So you stand tall, come back up, salute the sun again. Big inhale, powerful exhale, relax them. Left leg steps backwards. We're in this lunge type position. I'd like you to take your hands back to your hips. And now again, we're going to make sure heels hanging at the sky. This time, however, we're going to try to make vertical upper body as we bend both knees to lower and then rise back up. Straight to both legs, both knees bending down, and back to straight legs. And we're going to rep this out. So we're going to just continue on this for a few more repetitions. Very important to get the straightest both legs. Back heel driving to the earth. And then lowering back. Rising back up. One more repetition. And on this one, step the back foot forward. Opposite foot steps back. Same exercise, opposite side. Lower and raise. sure you drive that back heel to the earth before you descend down, standing up both legs straight. Not only is this a great stretch for a lot of the posterior muscles, it's good exercise for them too. Oops. Spinning up. All right, so the back foot forward, you've done enough. You've done enough. You've done enough. You better get hit too much to drink. All right, let's put our hands back up for heart. Step your feet out to the edges of the mat. This time aim the toes off the center line. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to start the squats. Again, so we've gone from single leg squats, which both of these legs are being used, but we have a announcement of one more than the other. One's doing more work than the other. In this case, both are working equally. Two legs working harmoniously together. Explore the range down. Now, by the next time up, hold up. And like we did earlier, extend the arms out. Aim the palms to the sky. Corkscrew the hands. Now we're going to put it together. So as we go down, palms hang to the sky. When we come up, we rotate internally. So let's get it started. Down and up. And continue on this for a few repetitions. Our count lady, Kirsten, is doing a nice accounting today. Explore the range down, try to keep the chest proud. One more repetition down, one more up. Hands come to the heart as feet step forward. Woo! A little bit of blood flow going on there. Nice. Now, bring the toes hanging straight forward. We're going to bring the legs with a slight pull to the center line. You're going to keep that as we now pull our butt back. Legs straight, but squeezing together as we begin to pull. Keep the spine long. And then rise up all the way through the whole range, down and up, legs pulling together. Keep that nice, active pull. Explore the range down, keep the spinal column long, keep that neck decompressed. This repetition, hold up, relax everything, shake it out. Smooth transition there. We're coming down onto the mats. Oh, getting old. Time for a little cheer. Cheers. Yeah, good morning. Morning. What are we doing? It's called cheers. It's like a greeting that people do. You know, we have a beverage in it. I don't know how to explain that. All right, so we're gonna come into staff pose. We're gonna keep the feet about, well, right to the corners of the mat. We're gonna reach forward and make that nice connection. Hand to toe. I'm gonna keep my fingers on top of the toes today. I'm gonna just pull the toes in towards the shins. And I'm gonna make a nice elongated spine as I inhale. And I'm gonna keep that spinal inhale. I'm gonna start to pull shoulders backwards. Now this will help to take some of that lengthening up and into the behind the knee area. I can try to keep that nice and full. And almost like you're pushing the back of the knees into the nines. We get you there. And then we're gonna hold for this one more breath. And then when we release this, we're gonna drop the chin and take it down to the mat, Pilates style. Sweep your arms all the way back. Take your left hand over your right wrist. Use the hand to pull the arm long. So left hand pulling that right arm nice and long. And then let those hands and arms come back over chest. Switch up sides. back up, switch out sides. This time take your left foot, plant it into the earth. As we draw the arms backwards. Pull long and pull across the center line, that right arm of yours. Take his arms back up. Change up the arms, change up the leg, draw it back. And you're really gonna have to make an effort of sorts where you're physically pulling with that right arm, or using the right arm to pull that left arm. And then pull across the central line. You're gonna run into your head, of course, but that's fine. Just do that nice stretch over the shoulder itself. Back up. Take both feet, bring them in this time. Let's drop your chin and give me a partial crunch as you reach up for the sky. Pulse it up. Now, as you pulse, I'd like you to suck in the tummy as you raise the hands or push them to the sky. Few more repetitions, and then hold it up. Pull the knees in, grab them with the arms, pull the forehead up to meet the knees, keep that arch in the back, and walk forward to back ever so slightly. And then walk all the way up onto the seated position. Take your feet, the bottoms thereof, and make a connection with them. Now, how far in, how far out, it's really dependent upon your mobility in your joints. You find the spot that works best for you. I'm going to use my hands to wrap my ankles. Now, a lot of our behavior postural wise would be inwardly rotated. So I'd like you to kind of avoid doing that. Grow the spinal column. It may suck in the knees when you do it, but so be it. I'd like you to kind of get that nice elongation. From here, we're going to basically raise and lower the legs ever so slightly. Now, ideally, you're on your sit bones, but if you have an inability to get there due to some joint mobility issues, tailbone is fine, but constantly work on pelvic rotation where you're trying to get up onto the sit bones if you're not pressing there, and keeping up there as we kind of flap the legs up and down. Get those inner thigh muscles, some of those other hip flexors going, oh, just a little bit of work. Now, take the feet, step them back out. Spine long, fold in. This time, try to wrap the hands down to the plantar area of the foot, the very base of the sole. So that the base, the hands kind of wraps the toe. We're going to use that set of lats that we have to help pull the shoulder blades back, create pull to the foot. Now, while we pull the foot in, I'd like you to try to push the back, the knees into the floor. So your quadriceps are going to be engaging. So you keep those engagement real, and then try to strengthily use those lats to give a little more pull. Crowd out the chest, grow the neck. Enjoy for a breath or two. And as you release your next breath, release everything. Drop the chin, tuck it under, vertebrae by vertebrae, roll it down. And when you arrive there, plant that left foot and sweep that right leg up into the sky. You're going to rotate that leg, bend the knee in that leg so the leg's able to rotate. Foot's able to rotate over that left thigh. And now we're going to practice what we did when we were sitting, which is simply opening and closing the right knee, using that foot as a hinge. Not a lot of muscle use there. It's not really a big muscle exercise, but this is more for the internal and external rotators. Get a little blood flow into them. And then let's set that right foot down, do the same with the left foot.
And then when you're ready, set that left foot down. Let's walk the feet out to the edges of the mat. And then take your arms reaching straight up into the sky and bring the palms together and interlock the fingers. I'd like you to try to roll so that your low back, roll the pelvic girdle so the low back skin is touching or in the direction of the low back mat. So now take your shoulders and we're going to roll onto the right, keeping the arms pulling. So you're going to rest on your head and we're going to just roll onto, so the left shoulder comes off the earth and you roll onto your right shoulder. And then you come back center and roll over to the opposite side. If you're bending through your elbows, try to keep the arms straight. In fact, try to use that grip of both hands to pull up and across. You're kind of arcing with that whole body. It's okay for the hip on either side to rise as you come up and over. Try to increase the range of motion. See if you can get those arms to the earth. I think I got a coach in me. All right, let's bring it back center and then step to relax those hands, let the arms fall beside the body as you step the feet out. I'd like you to keep them about hip width apart. We've done this stretch before, so you're just going to slide those heels in ever so slightly. And your feet, I'm going to ask you to pull into the shins. So we have a slight bend in the knees, and we're going to keep the feet in a flex state as we open up and close up, rotating the toes into touch. Maybe the thighs come into touch. And we open and slowly close for a few more repetitions. Try to smooth the journey. So if you're kind of choppy on the opening and closing, try to make it as smooth as possible. On the next repetition in, keep the thigh to thigh connection, keep the toe to toe connection. Give me a little extra flexion of the foot effort. And while you hold on that, I'd like you to hollow out the belly. I presently have arms beside the body. I've now cupped the fingers so just the tips talk. And I'm going to just kind of wiggle around my shoulder blades to figure out how to flatten them so I don't have like one little ridge contacting this bigger surface area. If you're still struggling to figure that out, we're going to keep moving on with giving it your best effort while we got the shoulder blades flat and the belly's hollowed out. I'd like you to take your thighs and begin to squeeze them together. We're just going to hold on this for a couple breaths. Try to intensify the squeeze. The intent here is to create a little vibrato of those inner thigh muscles. And if they're kind of trembling a little bit, that's perfect. That's what this exercise is to do right now. All right, now while we keep this, we're going to make a progression here. So you're going to take your fingertips, push it to the earth, push them into the earth. Arms are straight, elbows are not bent. And then while we got that going on, the next progression is to kind of push through the heels without compromising the squeeze of those knees and try to elevate your butt up off the earth. Keep those feet flexing. Give me a little bit of flexion effort and then relax everything down. Straighten out those legs and sweep those arms backwards. Give me a nice pull from opposites. Fingers and toes, of course, creating nice length along that whole body of yours. As you exhale, let's Pilates style this up. And when we arrive, keep the flexion in the spine and dive the hands between the legs. On your next breath, Pilates style, take it down. Let's slide those ankles in just an inch or two, and when they get to that inch or two in, flex the feet. We're gonna go through this again. So that was our series there. We do this exercise, and then we add it with the Pilates style push-up. If you haven't figured that out,
Sit up.
it's a sit-up, you're right, it's a sit-up. Now, flatten out those shoulder blades. Legs are squeezing, I'm sorry. Let's get those legs squeezing. Let's keep those feet flexed. Let's try to pull those toes in a little more into the shin. As we continue that squeeze of the legs, up onto the fingertips, flatten out those blades. It's almost like you're crowding out the chest. You're gonna keep the belly hollow. As we continue to push the fingertips to the earth, continue to squeeze those thighs and continue to pull those feet in towards the shins. As we add on to this, we're gonna begin to push from the heels and try to create elevation of that butt of ours. Keep that chest proud, keep that neck relaxed, keep those feet flexed. Am I talking this? Yeah, I want you to not listen to yourself. I want you to listen to all this exercise and relax it down. Extend the arms all the way out, point the toes as you step out those heels of yours, and Pilates style, up we come. Keep the spine in flexion as you dive the arms. Feel that nice pull through that low back. You were just working it. Big breath in. Powerful exhale. Keep the spine in flexion as Pilates style. We take it back down. Sweep those arms back. Drag those heels in as the arms return beside body. Feet flex, inwardly rotate. You may notice that there's less trembling now on those thighs. That's because we have more blood flow, but keep that pressure, keep that engagement, keep those feet flexed. Adding on now, fingertips to the earth as we cup the hands. Chest is proud, arms are long, elbows are almost locked out as we pressurize the tips of the fingers. We're gonna start to push with the heels. And we're gonna create more effort to squeeze the thighs now. And as you create more effort there, I'd like you to kind of keep that butt elevated, but flex the feet. Give me that big foot flexion right now. Give me a little higher push. Tension free through the neck, lower back down, extend it all the way back out. Great job. Pull long, Pilates style it up. Drop the chin, peel it vertebrae by vertebrae. Keep the flexion, dive the fingers. Enjoy. Inhale, extend, and then we're gonna go do some of my second favorite exercise, the 1990s. You scoot forward. I'll scoot back. All right. So we're gonna start in our modified position. And make sure we have, just a 90-degree in the front leg. I've got the flexion going on in the spine. I'd like you to give me the extension. Right now, my right cheek is up off the mat. Perfect. I'd like you to keep that way. Get a nice long arm, but we're gonna take it down to a forearm. And then we're gonna take the right hand and reach it up to the sky. As you reach to the sky, I'd like you to take the right shoulder and begin to open it backwards. Use the fingers to pull that arm long. And then slowly rotate, hinging left shoulder. So we're not rotating internally with the right shoulder. We're just kind of rotating internally with that whole torso to the point where we need to rotate internally. Fingertips come to the earth. Reach the fingertips forward, pull away from the body, and then unhinge over that left shoulder as you pull backwards, pull arm long, sweep forward, reaching for the sky, rotating inward, pulling forward, coming all the way back up, all the way back,
And then let that right arm descend and set up for the opposite side. Going down onto that right arm, left arm sweeps up. Pull that arm nice and long. Sweep down. Sweep up. Pull long to that whole range of motion. Try to keep that right hip down onto the earth. Reach far away, as far away as you can get. Sweep back up. So you should notice that part of the motion is the rotation through the right shoulder until you can't give any more rotation. And then you're sweeping the arm through that left shoulder to get it to touch to the earth. But the important part here is the length of the arm and the distance you are able to reach away from the body. So it gives you that stretch. Okay, sweeping back up, coming back forward and around, and we're going to come back into our more traditional 90 and 90 type of pose. So it doesn't matter that the leg, either leg gets to the earth. This is all about practice on something that's going to provide mobility. But if you can, leg goes down and you have 90 degrees in both knees. It may look funny, you may look whatever it is, but try to get the length of the upper body. And then we're going to rotate through on this basically by going left arm. I'm going to keep up in the palms here. We're going to rotate the upper body through to the point where we can get some lowering in that right knee. And we're going to rotate with that right hip up and over. Now I'm just putting my hand on hip. You can put it anywhere you want. And now when we reverse this, we're basically going to roll out. We're going to change hands as we roll across from one sit bone to the other and allow the hips to kind of find some rotation. Once again, now it's that left hip rolling up and over and in. You can use that left hand here to reach forward. You can use the right hand as we return back, or you can just put it on your hip, whatever works for you today. And now we're going to continue this rotational exercise. Feel your little hip sockets going crazy here, those small muscles stepping from side to side. Repositioning your feet, trying to keep the 90 degrees in both knees as best you can. Trying to keep the spine always growing in that rotational effort through the hips. That part there is pretty key. Just that little bit of extra effort to garner a little bit more rotational stabilization. Keep that spinal column straight. Keep those rotators exercising. One more repetition. And then when we get there, we're going to sweep both legs forward to face the camera. See your lovely faces once again. I have to say cheers because my mouth is getting dry. Good stuff. All right. As we step both feet in, I'm going to ask you to grab both hands over kneecaps. Now, right now, I'm on my tailbone. I'm going to use my arms and my proud chest to help push forward with it and roll up onto my sit bones. And when I get there, I'm going to release my hands, extend them out. I'm going to push my chest forward as I lean backwards. I'm going to feel my hip flexors start to kick in and work a little bit harder. That's fine. Now, I'm going to do modified crunches here. So I'd like you to roll back and forward, but not down onto that pelvic girdle. This is a unhinged hinge thing. So those muscles working really hard to give you more flexion and a little bit of hip extension. And then we're going to take it all the way down, Pilates style, and then stretch it all the way out. Oh, pull long as you inhale. As you exhale, come up Pilates style. Dive it down and get that nice little reprieve, lower back stretch. Inhale, extend. When you come back to seated, sweep those legs around. We're going to visit our friend Max, face down. Woo! All right. Now,
Baby coat.
this is like a baby cobra. There's many different positional things that go on with this. So right now, I'd like you to make sure your elbows are under, maybe slightly inward, a little more than your shoulders are. And whatever they are, I'd like you to kind of take your chest and let it drop in between your arms. And then take your neck and make it long. And then take the back of the head and tie an imaginary string to it. And use it to pull it forward and then use it to pull it upward. And if you feel like the middle part of your back, maybe as far down as your low back starting to engage, perfect. I like to take your belly button and try to pull it up and into the spine. Crowd out the chest as you do so. Pull the head a little farther forward and a little higher to the sky. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let the upper body pull down. Let's drop in those hands right by the shoulders. And we're going to use them to help to elevate the back towards the sky. We're going to keep that spinal column long. We're going to keep that chest proud. And we're going to avoid compressing through the neck. If you've gone there, I'd like you to kind of reset it all. Keep the neck long, keep it relaxed. Almost like you have a string originating through your spinal column out through the top of the head, pulling along that whole structure. And then lower back down, keep your chin and face in general floating above the mat. Once again, we're going to elongate the spinal column, and with the assistance of arms or without, we're going to keep that pull of that imaginary string as we crowd out the chest, keeping decompression in mind. We're not affecting anything. We're lengthening it all. Now, if you can, take the right palm up, lower it down, and switch it to the left. And just walk those hands side to side. And then both hands down. We're going to come up and go to child's pose. And back to child's pose. Thanks for stealing my show. All right. Let's reset the child's pose. I'm going to walk my hands back in and bring the knees out to the edge of the mat. And now I'm going to flip so the backs of the feet are connected. And then I'm going to lower hips. I'm going to remain on my forearms until my calves, not my calves, my shins decide that they want to cooperate. Yours might be cooperating already, but I'm just working on this right now. You do you and I'll do me. And we feel that nice pull. Those shin muscles. Oh, doesn't that feel wonderful? And if you're with me, you're going to now extend those arms out and enjoy a nice child's pose. Walk those hands forward a little more. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Walk those hands back in. I'm going to change the orientation of my feet by tucking the toes under. So I stay on all fours now. I'm going to rock forward and back. And calm that. And then I'm going to keep my toes tucked under as I draw my hips upward and backward to down dog. I'm going to let my heels descend towards the earth. And then I'm going to push with my arms as I pull my butt to the sky and try to drive my heels earthward. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, let the spine flex as you walk your hands back to your feet. Arrive there, distribute the weight equally as you inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Pilates style, tuck that pelvic girdle under and stack each vertebrae, sweep to the sky to salute the sun. Let that breath release as you draw hands over heart. Thanks for joining us. Namaste.